Spoilers for Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Cour 4. I won't be recapping every episode that happened before Cour 4 because there is a lot of information, so I'll just be talking about Cour 4 and what's happened so far. Rise up, Bleach fans. We've come a long, long way. The final few episodes of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War are here and I'm going to talk about it. So yesterday, I got a chance to watch Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Cour 4 yesterday with my brother. He wanted to go see it, so I went with him. They released about 4 episodes in the theater that you can go ahead and watch. So I'm just gonna get some things out of the way really quick. The animation and art style are so crisp and clean compared to before Bleach went on hiatus. And the music is really good. There's this violin part. If I can play it, I'm gonna play it in the YouTube video so you can hear it. But all the music fit really well. Pacing is good, it was smooth, nothing felt cluttered or rushed. Dialogue is good, sounds like actual conversations, and it doesn't sound like they're reading from a script at all, so that's very good. All the abilities that were shown were so cool and fun. Kubo and the staff cooked with these designs. So there are 4 fights in Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Cour 4. There is Urahara, Yoruichi, and Grimmjow versus Askin. There is Uryu versus Jugrum. And then there's Ichigo and Orihime versus Yuha. And there is Toshiro, Byakuya, Kenpachi, and the Visors versus Gerard. I'll start with the fight that had the least amount of stuff happen, then move up to the fight that had the most amount of stuff that happened. So first up is Toshiro, Byakuya, Kenpachi, and the Visors versus Gerard. So as you know, Gerard's ability is the miracle, which basically makes the impossible possible. For example, if you cut out his eye would grow back and it would just be a lot stronger. It's like something that shouldn't happen, happened because it's a miracle. So it starts with everyone hiding around because Gerard is gigantic. He's like a building, man. So they're hiding and Hiyori, she comes in and she puts on her Vizard mask and then she blasts a Sero at him. And obviously it didn't do anything. But it was just a distraction so that Byakuya and the Vizards could come in and attack him. I think it's actually pronounced Vizard. Vizard. I'm looking at the pronunciation because it's been a while since I heard the name pronounced in Bleach. And I think it's pronounced, I was saying Vizard, it's actually Vizard, I think. It's been a while since I kept up with Bleach, okay? And then Kenpachi comes and he cuts off Gerard's arm, but then as you know, how the miracle works, Gerard's arm grows back and it becomes a lot stronger. Toshiro also comes and does like this in-sync attack with Byakuya with his, flower petals and his eyes going up against Gerard. They're in a sticky situation here because they can't really cut off Gerard's limbs or anything like that, or damage him heavily because he'll just come back stronger. And that's basically how that fight ends, just like on a cliffhanger, because we don't know what they're going to do yet. Obviously, if you read the manga, you know what's going to happen, but don't worry, there's not going to be any manga spoilers here. Except for the very end, I am going to talk about something, but I'll put a warning up, so then, anime-only watchers don't get spoiled. Next is Ichigo and Orihime versus Yuha. And I just want to say, why didn't Yuha kill Orihime right at the beginning? Because he definitely could with the speed and strength that he has, but he just kept going after Ichigo. Now I know Ichigo is one of the special threats that Yuha identified along with Kenpachi, Ichibei, Aizen, and Urahara, but I mean, the guy could just spread a little bit of his Soul King ability and like attack Orihime while attacking Ichigo, because at this point, he is the strongest in the verse and no one can stop him. Also, I like the change of the eye color compared to the manga, because in the manga, when I read it, when I looked at the colored version, Yuha's Almighty, his eyes are yellow, but in the anime they're red. And the red pairs so well with the palace that Yuha created. It looks so good. Just his entire final design is amazing, man. I really love that design. It looks so cool. I'm a little bit biased towards it. No, I'm a lot biased towards it. I think it's like my favorite design in the entire show. Now, I did think this fight was a little stale. I'm not saying this fight was bad or anything, but it was like a hack and slash which wasn't leading anywhere because Yuha kept countering his attacks. I know he has the Almighty, but there was a lot of back and forth with him and Ichigo, and it felt very repetitive, and like Ichigo wasn't like trying any new tactics or anything like that. Orihime was good though. I really liked how she played defense. Defense meaning how she protected Ichigo. That's what I meant, because I definitely still think that Yuha could have one-tapped her. And at the very end of this fight, we finally get to see Ichigo's Bankai. And man, oh man, am I excited! Because when I read the manga for the first time, oh, hold on, yeah, let me not get into spoilers for the manga. Sorry, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, I'll just say a spoiler-free edition. So then anime-only watchers don't get spoiled from the manga. I feel that his Bankai, I know his Bankai in the manga was handled very, very poorly in the final fight. It was handled very, very, very poorly, and I did not like it at all. So I hope in the anime, when the full Cour 4 comes out, we get to see, Ichigo's Bankai to the fullest, and that it's animated beautifully, and just, I hope it's really good. Because I think it will be a little good. Not a little good, it will be a lot of good, because Kubo just has been cooking the entire time with the Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, so I doubt that we're gonna get the same treatment as we did with the manga. But yeah, good fight. I liked it more than Torshiro, Byakuya, Kenpachi, and the Vizards versus Gerard. Next is Uryu versus Jugrum. Now, when they were fighting, there were two instances when Jugrum could have killed Uryu. He pinned him to the wall and he had his sword out, but instead of like stabbing him or anything, he like threw him to the ground, and then he's like crashing through like all like the concrete and the walls, and not the walls, but the floor. And then he pins him again, but he has his sword and it's like it's on his glasses, and he's trying to penetrate his glasses and stab him in the eye. And it's like the sword, it's a bunch of baloney. I hate this. All right, I hate this so much, because his glasses are protecting him from his eye getting like cut out. What is the glasses might be made of vibranium and adamantium or something, because that simple sword was not piercing through his glasses. That is a bunch of baloney. I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense. If somehow Uryu's glasses are made from a very strong glass, please tell me that in the comments or something, because that was a bunch of baloney. But it was cool seeing Jugrum have his own form, because he is I think he said in the anime, or when I was watching in the theater, that he's the other half of Yuha. So he got like his own form, and it's like, it's all black, and he has his own, 3 eyes that Yuha has in both of his eyes. And his new form, which is not in the manga, is inspired by the emotions he's carrying from the past, which is why it's all like dark and gritty. They explained that at the end of the movie, because there's a special segment at the end of the movie when everything was done after the credits, and they explained the behind the scenes of working on the designs for these episodes. And in that, they described and explained Jogrum's new form, which I really appreciated, because this entire fight in the manga happened off screen. We didn't get to see it, and we basically skipped to the end. So I really hope they keep advancing, not advancing, what's the right word? Keep continuing to show us more from this fight. This fight has a lot of potential because it's going to be all new. No one knows what's going to happen. I mean, if you read the manga, you know how it ends, but we don't know how we get to that point. So I can't wait to see all of that. And the last fight, which has the most stuff in it, is Urahara, Yoroichi, and Grimmjow versus Askin. Now I'll briefly explain Askin's power to get you caught up, because if I don't explain it, then you're gonna kind of be like, what? So I'm gonna explain it. Askin has the power called the death dealing, which allows him to create lethal doses that will eventually kill you. He can do this by swallowing blood to make the blood in someone lethal. Basically, it's poison. He can also do this with Reishi. He also has these balls called gift balls, and if it touches you, then the death dealing is active towards you. He can also make a big giant one, which he does later, and we'll get into that. And he can also create like this pool on the ground, and if you get into it, the death dealing will, the death dealing is active on you. It's like this big like rainbow pool. And Askin gains immunity to any substances or energy based on those attacks that he interacts with from someone else. Okay, now that we're all caught up, let's get into the fight. So it starts with Yushiro lying defeated on the ground because he went in recklessly against Askin, and Askin folded him like an omelet in the Cour 3. So Yoruichi also, she got hit with the gift balls, causing her to become weak, but Urahara comes in and gives her immunity to the effects. I would have liked to seen how Urahara got there, because he kind of just appears, but it's a little nitpick I have. And then she later gets a power-up that Urahara gave her. He has this page, and he's like, once I flip this page, you're gonna transform. And it's really funny because Yoruichi, she hates the form. She thinks it's like so stupid. So she has this thunder god-like cat form. With this power-up, she can change her Ryatsu like 48 times per second. And Askin can't keep up with that. Even though he gains like immunity to substances or energies, it's changing way too fast for him. So she battles Askin and she is tearing him up. Literally, he's getting scratched up, there's blood everywhere, he's screaming. He's like, what? I can't believe this. But the form doesn't last long because the immunity Urahara gave her wore off, leaving Urahara to fight Askin. I forgot to mention that Yoruichi, I did mention that. I did mention she got hit with the gift balls for her to become weak. That's why when the immunity wears off, she's weak again. So Askin, now he's in his like final form that all the Quincy's have. And he has these rings on his wrist, and when he throws the ring at you, and if it touches you, like all the death dealing power from his ability focuses on that one spot, and then like it instantly, kills that thing. And he threw it at Urahara's eyes. So Urahara is blind. So then he goes like, okay, I've got no choice, Bankai. And what his Bankai allows him to do is, no matter the damage that Askin, this is how I saw it, no matter the damage that Askin is dealing to him, Urahara is just going to keep healing himself again and again. That's what his Bankai does. And let me tell you, his Bankai looked very, very creepy compared to when it was in the anime. They made it a lot better visually in the anime, and it looked like something out of like a horror movie or something. I really loved that. It gave that extra like oomph to his Bankai. So now Urahara can go toe-to-toe with Askin. They're fighting. Oh, I forgot to mention, gosh dang it, I forgot 2 times in a row that Askin, he created this giant gift ball, and Urahara's like getting poisoned by it continuously. So that's also another reason why he had to use his Bankai. So they're in this giant gift ball, and Yoruichi's there too. And while Urahara is fighting Askin, he creates a path for Grimmjow, because Grimmjow, he was getting like flattened like a pancake. Well, not like a pancake, but he was like on the ground because of Askin, when Askin was running away from Grimmjow back at the end of Cour 3. So Grimmjow is able to come up and plunges his fist through Askin's chest because Urahara left the path for him to come in. Because they made an agreement that that's what he was going to do, but they didn't show that, and I don't think it was ever told, but that's okay. Or maybe it was. It's been a while since I watched, because before I came to the theater, I was watching Thousand Year Blood War with my brother, but I wasn't watching every episode. Like I would only watch like when he was watching in the living room, and sometimes I'd just be in my room on my phone. And I've already read the manga though, so I do know what happens, but I can't remember when they brought Grimmjow back if he did talk to Urahara or if they briefly discussed the plan. I can't remember that. Someone point that out to me in the comments, because I can't remember if they did that or not. Man, I gotta get caught up with Thousand Year Blood War. That's what I'm gonna do after this. I'm just gonna start watching it all again, so then I can be caught up with my brother. Even though I already know everything that's gonna happen in the manga, I just wanna see the differences, and I wanna see the manga come to life just like how I did in the theater, because it was just very cool. So as Grimmjow is holding Askin's heart through his chest, he rips it out, and then Askin falls to the ground, and then Askin isn't dead somehow. He's not dead. And then Grimmjow tries to kill him again by like stabbing him with his like claws in his. So Askin's there lying on the ground, and he has one more trick up his sleeve that if he dies, then like, I don't remember exactly, but something happens with the giant gift ball, and it's making like, I think it doubles the dose or something. Because Urahara, he falls down, and Grimmjow, I think Grimmjow's just standing there, or something like that. Because Nell has to come in now because she said, oh, that's one of the 5 things that could happen if they fought Askin that Urahara told her. So Askin releases like this big effect, and I'm sorry for not remembering what it was. There was so much happening in this fight and in this movie. But let me see if I can search it up and pull it up real quick. Oh yeah, I was correct. So it does the gift ball deluxe, I think is what it's called. It just like everything, the toxicity of the lethal dose and everything just like turns up to like tenfold. So basically everyone in there is just like cooked. So then it's up to Nell to come take Yoruichi, Urahara, and Grimmjow out of there. And there's only like a little opening that Urahara left. So he's trying to Nell's trying to figure out how to get in there. So yeah, that's it. This adaptation, these 4 episodes that were shown in the theater, is definitely a step in the right direction for how I want to see this turn out. This is looking pretty good, and I'm excited. I'm sure the rest of everything else when it gets released is going to be good. And definitely the Gerard fight, if you go see it in theater or you wait for it, all the episodes start to consistently release in July, but they put some of the episodes in theater yesterday on June 25th. But in the manga, well, I'm not going to spoil anything for the manga, but the Gerard fight definitely gets a lot more interesting compared to what it showed. And definitely the Yuha versus Ichigo and Orihime fight gets a lot more interesting. I don't know about Uryu and Jilgrim because that fight was off screen, but now it's being animated in the anime. But then the Yoruichi, Urahara, and Grimmjow versus Askin fights, that one's done. So there's only 3 fights left. Uryu versus Jilgrim, Ichigo and Orihime versus Yuha, and Toshiro, Byakuya, Kenpachi, and the Vizards versus Gerard. So yeah, that's about it. That was me talking about Bleach, 1000 Year Blood War Cour 4. It's been a while since I talked about an anime on this channel. Feels good to do it. Especially this anime is a lot more of an upgrade than the last anime that I talked about. Now, very quickly, I'm going to get into spoilers for the manga of Bleach, 1000 Year Blood War. If you do not want to get spoiled, click off now. Don't watch the video. I'm going to be talking about it until the very end. This is your only warning. Please click off. Anime only watchers, I don't want to spoil you. So, since Yuha, in the manga, the full power of the Almighty, he can not only see the future, but he can change it. So I'm wondering if Bleach is going to make like 3 different finales with Yuha winning, like in 3 different ways. And then obviously with the 4th, with, the actual resolution with the story. Maybe the actual resolution will be a little bit different, but that's what I'm thinking. That's what I would like. Something like that, or maybe it all happens like in one episode where we see Yuha just use the Almighty, and then we see Ichigo and Orihime die like tons of times, and then maybe like the rest of the Soul Reapers, they try to come, but then they die to Yuha or something like that. But I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm done talking. I'm gonna get out of here. So I don't know what to say. Have a good day. If you're going to school, have a good day at school. Wait, school might be over for most of you. I hope your summer's going well. It is summertime. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it off with there. I'm gonna leave it off there. Hopefully you guys have a very, very nice summer and a very good weekend.